Hey guys, Lee Cole here. Hope you're doing great. This is Monday morning in Atlanta. This is my weekly online business scope. I do this 9 o'clock. Kartik, how are you today? I do this 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Steve, I hope you're doing wonderful. Hope things are doing great for you. Tech Dem, thank you so much for joining the show. Guys, I hope you're having as beautiful a weather as we're having here in Atlanta. I was just outside with my dog, and it is a perfect fall day. It is Annie Nikki. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. So let me take my link from Twitter and let me put that over in. Oh, thank you for the heart. I need to get those hearts up. Yozgat, thank you for joining the show. Oh, I love Focus. I love your handle, by the way. So while I'm doing my link, you guys heart it up. King Pedro, how are you today? I am doing very well, Steve. I'm very excited about today. I'll tell y'all why in just a second. Let me get my link over to Facebook and to Twitter for a second. Join my daily. Jogar, how are you? Business Scope, um, which is all about your to-do list and your goals. And this comes out of some conversations I was having with some of my good friends and some peeps on my list. This Mag, how are you today? Some of my peeps on my list this weekend, your to-do list and your goals. So let's pop that in there. Yilmaz, how are you? Yilmaz is, I used to know somebody named Yilmaz from Turkey. Are you from Turkey? Post that there. And let's put this in here. Oh, no, wrong one. Hang on, guys. And then we'll get going on a very exciting. From Brazil. Awesome. Well, doggone it. Seeing out of the corner of my eye, I can't even speak. Tons of people joining the scope. Awesome, guys. We're going to rock and roll in just about 2 seconds as soon as I get my links put in. There we go. Awesome. Okay. I'm very excited about this show. Gaffney Crows, Supply Corps. No, don't know that name. Anne Angelique, how are you? Thank you for all the hearts, guys. Thank you for joining the show. My name's Lee Cole. I'm going to introduce myself real fast in case you don't know me. Ertekin, thank you for joining the show. And I have to look up because I'm fighting the necessity of getting reading glasses. So I do daily online business scopes. It's all about online marketing and network marketing, which I've done full-time for 5 years since 2010. Used to be a high school mathematics teacher. Loved that job, but, you know, I had what I call my inner entrepreneur. JS Hod D99, thank you for joining the show, buddy. I had what I call my inner entrepreneur. I wanted more. I wanted more creativity in my life. And Lavigne Frank, thank you for joining the show. And quit my job in 2010. Essentially started taking all of my expertise that I'd gained with search engine optimization and stuff for 3 years before that, and started selling that to local businesses. That kind of, I still do that, but that kind of morphed into a ton of other different things that I do, create products, create software, and ended up doing a lot of network marketing. That's basically where I am. I am the breadwinner for my family. I'm the real deal. I put a roof over our heads, pay for the cars, the food, the vacations, the lessons, all this stuff through online marketing and through network marketing. And when I got into Periscope, which was about a month ago, which has been phenomenal for me, by the way, what I wanted to do. I love things like public speaking. I love doing videos. I love sitting here in my old shirt and my old hat. I was just outside with my dog, by the way, and Aniki. And telling you the real deal about these businesses, because I think it's very important that if you're interested in this stuff, and I hope you are, if you're interested in creating a different relationship between time, life, and money, which I think you need to, I needed to, and I'm guessing that you need to, that's why you're here, then I think you need to hear an an authentic person tell you about this stuff in an authentic way. Not, look, I'm a pretty good copywriter, but not just getting your information through sales letters. Okay, so there's no monetary relationship between Aurora. How are you? There's a thank you for the hearts, by the way. There's no monetary relationship between you and me. I'm not trying to show off. This is my crazy room where I cut my videos. By the way, I'm just about to launch my first course on Udemy, which is about LinkedIn, and I'm sure I'll do a series of periscopes about, hi there, I'm sure I'll do a series of periscopes about that. And Williams, how are you? And so you will know about that, and I'm probably going to have like a periscope only, coupon or something like that. So lots of cool stuff. That's who I am. That's why you might want to listen to me. I'm here to just share my experiences and hopefully point you in the right direction and help you sort out a lot of the confusion that I know that people see or feel when they're getting into this kind of stuff, like what should I do? Okay, because there was someone on this show earlier. These are my clothespins that I play with while I talk. But C.L. Snyder, how are you? Thank you for joining the show. There was someone on earlier whose handle was, I think it was I Love Focus or something to that effect. I was looking at the computer while I saw that. And yeah, that's the deal. Focus is the deal. Steve, you and I have actually messaged back and forth about the necessity of focus, and I deeply, deeply appreciate your commitment to it, because that in and of itself will that will solve 90% of your problems. Today's show. So Friday, I was talking to a person who was considering the network marketing company that I belong to, which is a company called Karatbars. I normally have my little card here, but to show you. But basically, Karatbars sells gold. If you're interested in that, find me on Facebook, facebook.com/LeeColeOnline. Hit me up. I'll be happy to talk to you about it. And, there's a person that has a full-time job. They want to transition out of that into something else. They have their, what I call their inner entrepreneur. They want to transition out of that into something else. We were talking about a variety of different things and talking about focus and talking about essentially how he could realize his goals in his life. So that was conversation number one. Most of the stuff, guys, the scopes that I do are reactions to my daily business life. Okay, I'll just be walking around thinking, doggone, that's a great topic for tomorrow's scope. And then over the weekend, I was talking with my really good friend, wonderful guy named Steve Rosenbaum. Steve does scopes every now and then. He's here on Periscope. He's at Steve Rosenbaum, Rosenbaum, Steve Rosenbaum. Steve's a remarkable marketer in and of himself, and just a really good friend of mine. But I was talking about the same type of thing, and specifically what Steve and I were talking about. We were talking about active income versus passive income in these kinds of businesses. And it all just kind of hit me, because I fundamentally have the brain of about a kindergartner. That's what my wife says. And I got to get things down real simple to where I can hold them in my head and apply them to life. And I was thinking, one issue in my business is I have too much passive income and not enough, too much active income and not enough passive income. In other words, that translates financially into I'm making too much of my income from daily activity and not enough of my income based on assets. All right, that's okay. I mean, look, I'm making income, so I'm not I'm not bemoaning this, And as I was telling Steve, it's a heck of a lot better than working for a living. But And I'm not bemoaning this. This is just a direction that I've known that I needed to go for some time, which was create a business or businesses that were much more asset based than my current business. Well, I was like, after that conversation, I forget whether that was Saturday or Sunday, but after that conversation, I'm kind of wandering around thinking, well, and not logically thinking, just sort of, I don't do that. I just sort of sit with problems until the solution bubbles up inside of me. Wired Girl, how are you? Nice to see you Monday morning. And, I was just sort of sitting with that issue, expecting someday that, good morning to you too, expecting someday that soon, hopefully, that a solution or the beginning of some solutions would sort of bubble up inside of me. And Wired Girl says, sorry, I'm late. That's excellent. You have to stay after class for 5 minutes because you're late. So, just expecting, maybe some solutions will bubble up. And lo and behold, they did. And it was like the simplest thing because two things going on. One, I got to get things really simple in my head or else I won't do them. I won't be able to do them. I won't be able to consistently do them and maintain that focus that we talk about a lot on these scopes. And two, I'm a born teacher. I used to be a teacher. I'm a born teacher, and I love getting things sort of encapsulated where I can tell somebody else, hey, go do this. Here's how you do it, and that will work. So it just hit me. I mean, it hit me, and it's like it's like a duh moment. So let's say you have some goals, and then you look at what your actions are, and as expressed as your to-do list. Okay, so if your to-do list and your goals aren't matching up, then something needs to change. Okay. So I keep my to-do list on two different things. I use Evernote on my phone, which I would show you, except I'm sitting here looking at my phone. I use Evernote on my phone, and I use 3x5 cards. And it's like, high tech and extremely low tech, and it works for me. And I was kind of, usually I'll write stuff down on a little 3x5 cards, and I cleared them out yesterday, but I'll have 2 or 3 or 4 going, some stuff struck through, some stuff undone, and when it all gets struck through, that means I either did it or decided not to do it. I'm not chained to these things, so when I get, when I'm done 3x5 card, I just throw it, just tear it up, throw it in the trash, and move on. So I kind of had a little collection of about 3 of these yesterday, and I was kind of getting ready for the coming week, and I was looking at them because that gives me a record of the actions that I took over the past several days, right? So I'm kind of looking at them thinking, I'm working really hard at this transition between income that's created daily and income that's asset based. And I was looking at my 3x5 cards, and it just hit me. I said, are my actions that I'm taking, do they reflect my goals? And I'm thinking, oh, that's so simple. Do my actions reflect my goals? Now, if my goals are to eventually have more of an asset-based business, then that means I got to create that asset-based business or businesses, which means that somewhere along the line, my actions need to be those of a person creating an asset-based business or businesses. See what I'm saying? So in other words, if I'm going to create something in my business, then I need to at some point be doing stuff to create in my business. So if I'm always doing daily income producing type things a lot, then I'm not going to be spending enough time creating the assets in my business. And so I was thinking, really, I could get a handle on this just by being more aware of what my goals are, and especially of my actions as expressed in my to-do list, right? So, or my to-do lists. So my actions is expressed in my to-do list because those are ultimately the actions that I take. If some given percentage of those, and I'm not getting all OCD about it or anything, but if some largish percentage of those, like let's say 20, 30, 40%, are not focused on building an asset, then I'm always going to be stuck in the hamster wheel of having to create daily income. Which I'm not complaining. It's a whole heck of a lot better than working for a living, and I make a multiple of what I used to make as a teacher. So I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining how I'm planning on the details of how I am moving toward a more asset-based business. So this is what I would encourage you to perhaps take away from today's scope. You have things that you want to accomplish in your life, and it doesn't have to be business. We talk about business here. We talk a little bit about relationships, not too much. But it's kind of like, there's an old saying, how you do one thing is how you do everything, and that's really true. So whether it's business, it spills over into everything else. But, look at your goals. I mean, if your goal, okay, look at how much you weigh, okay? And granted, I could lose 10 pounds, but look at how much you weigh and your level of fitness. And then look at what you did every day. Okay, so if you really want to increase your level of fitness, and if you write down what you did every day, and that doesn't include, let's say, about 30 minutes of exercise several times a week, you have a mismatch. I mean, don't beat yourself up about it. That would be a really bad thing to do at this point. But just become aware. This is a way of becoming aware of your actions. You have a mismatch between your goals and your actions. And so you might want to next week think, I need to take my actions and move them more in the directions of my goals. That means that I'm going to have to take some time and exercise. And you can do the same thing with what you eat. Okay? And look, I'm not a Nazi about what you eat, but I am aware of what I eat. I mean, we're coming up into what I call the silly season, which is holidays, and they're right around the corner. And that's time when, you eat tons of junk that you don't need to eat. But is the happiness that you have with your family and your friends, is it worth that? I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if a slice of pumpkin pie, okay, suppose that statistically that's going to take a month off my life at the end. Well, big deal. You're going to die anyway. You might as well be happy, loosely speaking. So, this works in all aspects of your life, but I'm talking about, I'm just using me as an example. One big thing that I'm doing is moving more towards an asset-based business. How am I doing that? Well, network marketing for one thing, because that builds an asset-based business. My particular company that I'm with is a company that sells gold, so I invest in gold. That's an asset. And also, taking my skill at creating products, which is pretty extensive, and moving that more into an evergreen world instead of what we call a launch-based model, but moving that over into an evergreen world. And that's the reason that I'm starting to create courses over on Udemy, because those will be there for those are more evergreen, not totally evergreen, but those are more evergreen. The stuff that I tend to be able to create courses about, social media and things like that, it has a lifespan and a shelf life because things change. That's why it's not totally evergreen. Gold that I invest in, that's not going to change. All right, that's been around forever. So that is a solid asset. So I would encourage you, I'm going to do it, I'm going to start being more aware this week of aligning my actions with my goals. And I would encourage you to start to be aware. Look, don't beat yourself up. That would be about the worst thing you could do. But start to align your actions with your goals. I finally learned in life, I want to leave you with this one thing. I finally learned in life to be very gentle with myself. It works better. Instead of like clamping down and saying, okay, I have to, exercise X number of minutes per day. I have to make sure that exactly 32% of all my actions have to do with blah, 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 blah. That just creates a lot of stress and needless mental accounting of your life. What works for me better is just to be gentle with myself and look at my to-do lists as I sort of finish them and think, are some of these things building an asset? Yeah, I did some things to build more assets with my day, my week, my month. That's good. I'm good with that. Let's move more toward that. Let's move more of the time and effort toward that as the asset base grows. So that's what I wanted to leave you with today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm going to be doing another scope at 11 o'clock. I got a little, speaking of daily stuff, I got a little launch that I did with a friend of mine, a lady named Nancy Landa, and it's all about selling stock videos to local businesses. So if you're interested, tune in on that launch. It'll probably be around 10:45, 11. Uh, we're launching a little info product about that. That may or may not be something you're interested in. If it's not, that's totally cool. Don't worry about it. That's not what these periscopes are for with me. With me, these periscopes are just for me to, from my point of view in my business, it's for me to reach out to a greater audience. But I'm kind of experimenting with, a few scopes for other things. I will have a coupon on that scope for the product. So if you're interested in getting the product at a pretty steep discount, I'll have a coupon there for you. So if you're interested in that, it's all about selling stock videos to local businesses. Yeah, you could definitely do that. You could definitely do that. Yeah. I had thought, I've been so busy, so says I wanted to combine that with videos. Um, yeah, I've been so busy with this last thing that I really wasn't able to pay much attention to videos. That is Jamie Garside and David and I think the name escapes me. But anyway, those are good guys, and I'm sure that's a great product. So yeah, you could definitely do that. So if you want, if you've already got the product, fine. If you don't, I'll have a little discount for you on that I'll just do through Scope. It's not a big deal. It's kind of an experiment with me just to see the relationship between scoping and product launches. Again, for me, generally, that's not what scopes are about. This is not what I don't want you to think is, oh my God, this is going to turn into Lee's Spam Fest. This is not going to turn into Lee's Spam Fest. This is Monday morning, 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday, daily business scopes, all about the God's honest truth about running these business. Zero Spam Fest. Okay. So that's a level of trust between me and you that I won't maintain. But I am sort of seeing what happens with other stuff, at different times, just playing around with Periscope to see its reach, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're interested, check it out. It'll be 10:45, 10:50, something on that order, and I will have a coupon there if you're interested in getting that. So thank you so much. I love you. I would not have a business without you guys and other people. Thank you so much for being on the scope. I love those hearts. Thank you so much for the hearts. And reach out to me, facebook.com/Lee Cole Online. By the way, if there's something you want me to talk about, some of you guys have been with me for the entire month of September, and I deeply appreciate that. I love seeing those hearts. If there's something you want me to talk about, hit me up on Facebook. Say, hey, Lee, love the scopes, or don't like the scopes, whatever you think about the scopes. But hit me up on Facebook and say, I wish you would talk about yada yada. And if I can legitimately talk about yada yada, I'll talk about it. I will at least tell you what I know about it and my 2 cents. All told, I've been doing this stuff for 8 years. That's a lot of experience. So I'm happy to provide you with what I think of as the inside skinny on how these businesses work. And so reach out to me on Facebook, give me some topics. I'm not running out of topics. That's impossible for me. But if there's something that you want me to cover, to talk about, to explore, please let me know. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and have a great week.